Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, March 6th. Welcome to First Look. My co-anchor today is Andrew Cohen. Counselor Cohen, I know you've been analyzing the Scooter Libby trial for some time. The verdict came down today. Guilty on 4 out of 5 counts. Can you explain it for people who don't have law degrees out there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fairly simple. What the jury decided today was that Louis Libby lied when the grand jury...
that's so alliterative.
Yes, right. Louis Libby lied when the grand jury asked him questions about his role in that Valerie Plame Wilson affair, when federal investigators asked him about it, and finally when the prosecutor asked him about it. And, you know, you can't do that. We know from the Martha Stewart case, you can't lie when you're under oath.
Well, it's once again proof that it's not the crime, it's the cover-up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so he's not convicted for leaking anything. What
Right.
would be the legal term for leak?
Leak. The disclosure, it's Latin for leak. No, the disclosure.
Leakus.
Leakus. The disclosure, right?
Leakus raptus.
Yeah, exactly. Leakus interruptus. The problem is that what you have here is you have the investigation was into the leak. What I think Special Prosecutor Patrick Fitzgerald decided and determined was it was going to be too hard to prosecute someone. Richard Armitage is the guy we now know who initially leaked the name.
You're saying armitage, it's Armitage.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay.
it's arbitrage.
Arbitrage, right.
And Armitage, but that's okay. Stick
Okay.
with me, Andrew.
There you go. Anyway, that guy, was the guy that they found was the leaker. And what Fitzgerald decided was, I can't win a case. I'm not going to bring a case against him. But all those people that I questioned along the way to determine who the leaker was, those people are going to be held accountable if they don't tell the truth. And he came to Louis Libby, and he asked these questions of Louis Libby, who didn't get to be where he was, Vice President Cheney's chief of staff, by being a dumb guy. And they asked him all these questions, and basically his story to the officials did match up with the story he was telling to the journalists. That's why we had so many journalists come into this and testify and basically put Louis Libby where he is today, which is in big, big trouble.
So what might he be sentenced to as a result of these convictions or this conviction?
Yeah, he's not going to get near the 30 years or the 25 years or whatever the maximum is. Martha Stewart got 5 months in jail and 5 months home detention. That's sort of a baseline here. I think Louis Libby is likely to get a stiffer sentence. Maybe it's a year or two in prison. Maybe it's a year or two of probation or something like that. I think he is going to get some jail time. I think there's no way around it.
What about the possibility of appealing ad nauseum, another Latin term?
There you go.
And then basically having the Bush administration pardon him on their way out?
It is absolutely a possibility here. It's the kind of scenario where you could see a pardon almost certainly after, right, the November 2008 election. So, you know, this is a big step, obviously, in determining what happens to him over the next 5 years, but it's not the final step.
Andrew's written extensively about this on our website, so if you want even more, please go to cbsnews.com. But one...
With better grammar.
Why didn't Vice President Cheney have to testify?
Well, he wanted to. He said he was willing to. The defense said that it wanted him to. And, of course, prosecutors were delighted at the opportunity of getting the vice president on the stand for cross-examination. Well, two things happened. One of two things. Either Libby's lawyer said to the vice president, you're toxic. We don't want you. You've come out of this looking so bad so far as being someone who was so intimately involved in all of this that we don't think you can help our case. Or Cheney's people went to Libby's people and said, you know what? We voluntarily said we would come and do this, but we don't really have to. We can always assert executive privilege, and you, Libby, are so tainted by all of this that we don't want to really get involved in it.
Finally, what do you think this says about how this White House operates?
I think that's the big lesson here. I don't think this was really a huge legal story. I think it was a political story, this trial, and I think a lot of the political story played out. The lesson is this administration really went after its enemies, real and perceived, and it went after them in a very, dark way. Didn't just go after Joseph Wilson in the court of public opinion or in the marketplace of ideas to say, look, you're a critic now of the war, we're going to say that you're wrong. It went after his wife, and it went after his wife and her status within the intelligence community. That's a lesson. That's something that I think a lot of people didn't expect from this administration, and that's something that really came out through the evidence at trial.
All right, Andrew, well, thank you. I think I understand it much better now, and as I said, you can get more of Andrew's perspective on our website. I'll be doing a little notebook. You watch those and read those every day, right, Andrew?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan, and sometimes I click many times on it to increase the
Now
number.
you're creeping me out. Okay, anyway, that's the Tuesday edition of First Look. We'll have more tonight on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric, but supporting
and without
cast.
Andrew Cohen.
No, we need to get you on more,
Okay,
Andrew.
there you go.
All
I'm
right.
all for that.
Well, you know what? If you'd like to see more of Andrew Cohen on the CBS Evening News, email us.
Harass my bosses.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya.